School City of Hobart here. We are prepping to return to learn. Remember that we are ever grateful, ever true. Together we will protect Brickies. So let's hop out to our website. Let's go to the Protect Brickies page. And it's my honor and privilege to share with you our top 10. So just like you have top 10 billboards, right, for music and top 10 on Netflix and top 10 on SportsCenter, we got a top 10 here to help all of us remember how can we best protect Brickies. And so as you look at this top 10, if I were you, I'd put it up on the refrigerator. I'd keep it up there during the summer, into the fall, and so forth. These are all great reminders of how we can work together to protect ourselves, protect others, and protect our Hobart community. And so what's the very first thing on this top 10 list? It's taking the pledge and being organized. And that's exactly that. I pledge to protect Brickies. How do I do so? By protecting myself, protecting others, and protecting our Hobart community. What about being organized? Well, our suggestion would be to use a checklist of things to bring to school daily in order to prevent the need for dropping off items. As we are remaining utmost cautious for safety protocols and so forth to keep all Brickies safe, visitors are restricted, and therefore the more organized we are and the less drop-offs there would otherwise need to be, then the better we can protect ourselves, others, and the Hobart community. But what are we protecting ourselves, others, and the community from? Well, we have to know the symptoms, and that's number 2. So what are the symptoms? A fever of 100.4 degree Fahrenheit or greater, a cough, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, chills, repeated shaking with chills, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, and last but not least, new loss of taste or smell. It's also important to remember that students and employees will be excluded from on-campus instruction if they test positive for COVID-19 or exhibit one or more of the symptoms of COVID-19 based on CDC guidance that are not otherwise explained by medical history. We give some examples here of what that means, but again, all of these things are offered in detail explanations through our plans as shown on our Protect Brickies site. But one example might be that a student has symptoms of COVID-19 that are not related to COVID-19, like a cough due to allergies or a migraine, a headache, things of that nature. In all such cases, family healthcare providers may need to provide additional assistance. Students' attendance must be reported in Skyward, and COVID-19 symptoms must be reported to nurse@hobart.k12.in.us. So a little bit more on self-screening. That's number 3. So self-screen and report to the school in Skyward. So in Skyward, parents will need to report the conditions when calling off a child. Parents will utilize the absence request section in Skyward to do so. Parents are going to have options to select the symptom or symptoms a child is exhibiting and or have an opportunity to explain such symptoms as they relate to a known medical condition. More to come on that. We'll provide even more guidance on using the absence request section in Skyward in the days to come. How about number 4? Parents, guardians must communicate information to the school when symptomatic or exposed to someone with a COVID-19 positive test. So again, whether COVID-19 symptoms are present or exposure to a COVID-19 positive test, both of which have to be reported to nurse@hobart.k12.in.us. Number 5, this comes from the Indiana State Department of Health. It's a great document. We'll share more about this in our plans and in another cast as well if you have more interest in it. But this is the essence of it. COVID-19 symptomatic or positive test exposure requires return to school rules. And again, this is all coming from the Indiana State Department of Health. If you look here, they give 3 scenarios as an example for a positive test and 3 scenarios for a negative test. You can read through those and refer to those. Number 6, practicing good hygiene. Teaching the importance of not touching my face, teaching and reinforcing good hygiene practices like hand washing, using hand sanitizer, covering coughs, and keeping one's hands to self. And don't forget to teach the proper use and removal of masks, which is also explained on our Protect Brickies site. Number 7, always carry a mask. Remember that masks are used when moving in the school, like entering hallways, talking face to face, or when in large crowds. Remember that students can remove masks during class time when all students are seated at their desks facing the same direction and they're spread out as much as possible. Number 8, social distancing. As the picture shows, we adhere to safe social distancing practices and follow all safety instructions and signage. Number 9, food service is boxed and online payment is preferred. And then number 10, last but not least, bus stops and bus travel require masks. As a reminder, plans are subject to change based on guidance from state and local authorities. But hey, here's our top 10 as we pledge to protect Brickies by protecting myself, protecting others, and protecting our school community.